Thank you so much for joining me for this Yoga for Cramps Gentle Yoga Flow. I created this sequence especially to relieve any pain, any cramps that you may have, really calm your nervous system. You don't particularly need any props for this. When you're ready, just go ahead and meet me on the mat. Alright, so when you guys are ready, we're going to start in a child's pose towards the end of your mat. So bring your big toes to touch. Your knees are going to be wider than hips distance. And on your inhale, slowly start to walk your hands forward, letting your bum lower down towards your heels. Forehead is going to come down onto the mat. When you're here, I'll invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already done so. Really start to focus on your breath. Bringing your attention inwards. Trying to make every inhalations and exhalations as equal as possible. On your next inhalation, slowly lift up onto your tip of the fingers. On your next inhalation, lift your forehead off the mat. We're going to take a little side twist. So taking your inhale, sliding your left arm under your right one. Taking a side twist, looking up and over that right shoulder here. Making sure your belly button is up and in. Feeling a side stretch here. Making sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, slowly come back to center. Letting your forehead melt down onto the mat. Take a full breath here. On your next inhalation, lift your forehead off the mat. Taking a side twist, but towards the left this time. So sliding your right arm under, looking up and over that left shoulder this time. Feeling a side stretch again. Making sure you're breathing. On your next inhalation, come back to center. Again, letting your forehead melt down onto the mat. Take a full breath here. Next inhalation, slowly roll up into tabletop position. When you're here, come into the palms of your hand. Maybe take a little bit of movement from side to side, making sure that your shoulders are over your wrists here, hips are stacked over your knees. We're going to take a few cat-cows here. So take a big inhale, dropping the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze, press the floor away. Exhale, draw the chin into your chest, feeling round into the upper back. Trying to create that U shape. Inhale, draw the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze. Exhale, draw chin to chest, press the floor away. Again, inhale. And exhale, chin draws into the chest. Rounding in the upper back, last one here. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the tail, lifting your gaze. Exhale, drawing your chin to your chest. Press the floor away. Next inhalation, come back to center. On your next inhalation, making sure that your big toes are touching towards the end of your mat. Here we're going to take a puppy stretch. So take a big inhale. Same idea, dropping the belly, lifting the tail. But this time, slowly start to walk your hands a little bit more forward. Same idea, letting your chest melt. Forehead first, melt down onto the mat. Here you want to try and keep your hips stacked over your knees. So maybe you can bring your forehead or chin or chest down on the mat. Next inhalation, bringing your hands by your side and slowly sit back down to your heels. Maybe take a few movements from side to side and slowly slide forward onto your belly. When you're here, lay all the way down, bringing your arms out by your side. Maybe your arms are straight out by your side, palm facing down, but try and cactus the arms for this one. We're going to take a little shoulder stretch, starting towards the right. So take a big inhale. Go ahead and taking your left foot, try and bring it towards the right side. Go ahead and bring that left hand. Try and feeling your shoulder stretch here, putting more weight towards the right. Making sure you're breathing here. Next inhalation, come back to center. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So take a big inhalation and kick, but this time with your right foot towards the left. Taking a side stretch here. Using your right hand to press down on the mat, helping you shift a bit more weight. Next inhalation, come back to center. Go ahead and keep your feet hips distance. Your legs are hips distance. Come into your forearms. Here you want to make sure that your shoulders are over your elbows. We're going to take a Sphinx pose. So press legs loose or engage, pressing down to the mat. Maybe press down with your forearms. Lifting up with your heart. On your next inhalation, Go ahead and center that left forearm. We're going to take a half frog. So take a big inhale. Go ahead and try and reach and grab that right back foot. We're going to go ahead and take a twist with your hands so that your fingers are facing the same way as your toes. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, still pressing down with that left forearm. Go ahead and try and lower that foot down towards your hip. Keeping your chest lifted here. Making sure you're breathing. Two more breaths here wherever you are. Next inhalation, come back to center. Bringing that right forearm back down on the mat. We're going to do the same thing but on the other side. So go ahead and center that right forearm this time. On your next inhale, trying to grab onto that foot. Twisting so that your fingers are facing the same way as your toes, making sure that you're pressing down onto the mat. Try and bring your foot down. Making sure you're breathing here. Next inhalation, come back to center. And on your next inhalation, slowly bring your bum down close to your heels, coming back into child's pose. When you're here, you can slowly bring your feet apart so that they're in line and parallel with your knees. Take a full breath here. On your next inhalation, slowly start to lift your bum up off your heels, off the mat. We're going to attempt a little camel pose. So here, making sure that your knees are right under your hips. Take a big inhale, always lifting up with your heart here, never leading with your hips. In any heart openers, you're always leading with your heart and trying to push your hips back. So here, attempting a camel pose. Maybe you want to tuck the back toes to begin. Take a big inhale, lift up with your heart. Lead and try and maybe grab the back of the ankles. When you're here, maybe release the back of the head. Let your head come down if that feels comfortable for you. Maybe untuck the toes. Next inhalation, fully come back. Down, bringing your bum down onto your heels. Here, just take a few breaths. On your next inhalation, slowly come back to a tabletop position. We're going to slide towards the side, coming into a frog pose. So making sure that both knees here are in line, your feet are a little bit more out. Focusing on your pelvic tilt, so popping your booty a little bit more out, making sure your core is engaged. Always, this is the easiest, and then slowly maybe work onto making your way onto your forearms or your hands, wherever you are. And just make sure you're breathing, keeping proper alignment. Next inhalation, slowly bring it back to that tabletop position. When you're here, take a big inhale. You're going to bring your right foot towards the side of your mat, sitting up for a lizard pose. So here, making sure that your heel is in line with your wrist to begin with. So when you're here, just making sure you're breathing, your heart is lifted. Belly button is up and in, hips are sinking down. Maybe you can lower your forearms down on the mat. So when you're here, making sure that your elbows this time are aligned with your heel. Again, heart is lifted. Maybe you want to stay here, or maybe you want to open your thigh out, but while keeping your chest lifted and looking straight in front. It's a new little way that I've been liking to stretch my lizard. Feel an extra stretch, but feel free to stay here or on your hands, wherever you are. Just making sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, slowly come back up onto your hands. Come back into that tabletop position. We're going to switch sides on your next inhalation. Bring your left foot this time towards the side, making sure that your wrists are aligned with your ankle. Hips are sinking down, chest is lifted. Making sure you're breathing here. Again, now we have the option to maybe lower down onto the forearms. Always making sure that your elbows are aligned with your heel. And again, maybe you want to open your thigh a little bit more out, keeping your chest facing towards the front. This is a bit more of an intense stretch. So wherever you are, maybe you want to stay here, slowly fine. Making sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, slowly come back, lift up onto your hands, coming back into that little tabletop position. And come and sit your bum down onto the mat. Coming into a seated bound angle pose. So bring the bottom of your feet together. Here, try and peel your feet out. So trying to bring the outside of your feet out. Taking a little bit of a rock forward if you feel like that intensifies the stretch for you. Maybe you want to take a few twists on your next inhale. Go ahead and bring both hands onto your thighs. And on your exhale, pressing onto the right, looking up and over your left shoulder. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Again, inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Last one on each side. Inhale, center, and exhale. Twist. Inhale, center. And exhale. Twist. On your next inhalation, come back to center. When you're here, go ahead and come into a pancake, so a wide leg fold. I'm going to face this way so you guys can see a little bit better. So you can stay facing that way. So go ahead and bring your legs as wide as you want to today, as your flexibility allows you to. We're going to start by taking a few pelvic rock forwards. So simply rocking your hips forward and back, focusing on popping your booty kind of out here. Focusing on your breath here. I'm going to take 2 more of these. And on your next inhalation, slowly start to try and walk your hands forward. Maybe you stay on your forearms, really focusing on that little pelvic tilt. It's going to help you to maybe lower all the way down to a pancake fold. Here, making sure you're breathing. That your spine is straight and long. Belly button is up and in. Next inhalation, slowly lift up. Bring your legs back together. Maybe give yourself a little shake from side to side. When you're here, keeping your feet down on the mat, maybe you want your feet to be parallel or together. Maybe you want to cross your hands together, or simply just hold on to your legs. We're going to take a few cat-cows, but in this position. So we can go ahead and follow me. Take a big inhale. We're going to bring our belly forward, lifting our heart. Take a big inhale to your belly to the thigh. Your heart is lifted. Your gaze goes back. And on your exhale, drawing your chin to your chest, rounding on the upper back. And again, inhale. Kind of dropping your belly, bringing it to your thighs, looking back. And exhale, drawing your chin to your chest, rounding the upper back. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale, drawing your chin to your chest, round in the upper back. On your next inhalation, come back to center. You can go ahead and maybe give your legs a little shake from side to side and slowly straighten them out in front of you. When you're here, make sure your feet are flexed, belly button is up and in. We're going to take a forward fold. So take a big inhale, arms come up and overhead, and exhale, keeping your spine straight and long, belly button is up and in. Try and fold forward wherever you are. Keeping your feet flexed, making sure you're breathing and that your spine is straight and long. Three more breaths here, wherever you are. On your next inhalation, slowly start to walk your hands back. And come towards the top of your mat into maybe this little position, not really a yogi squat, simply to help you rock back. And make our way into a plow pose. So bringing your hands up. I want you to have your hands up and overhead. Palms are facing up. Rock your hips up. Flex the toes. Maybe make sure your belly button is up and in so that you can try and keep your hips stacked here. Making sure you're breathing. Maybe if you have a little bit more range of flexibility, you want to try and bend the legs, bring them by your side. Nothing crazy contortion here, simply Breathing into the stretch. Next inhalation, slowly lower down, bringing your thighs slowly towards your chest. When you make it back to center, keeping your legs straight up on top of you. Feet are flexed here. We're going to take Supta Kamukhasana. So on your next inhalation, go ahead and bring your right leg in front of the left one, bend both legs. Keeping your both feet flexed, go ahead and grab onto the outside of the feet. Inhale, bringing your thighs close to your chest as you can. Exhale, slowly start to walk your feet out by your side. Maybe you stay in the first position, or maybe you try and come into this T shape wherever you are, making sure you're breathing into the stretch. Next inhalation, bring both legs back to center. And on your next inhalation, we're going to switch it. So go ahead and bring that left leg, bend both legs, come onto the outside of the feet. On your next inhalation, trying to bring your thighs close to your chest as you can. Maybe you stay here on your next inhalation. Walk it out into this like T shape. Really pressing down towards the ground. Next inhalation, slowly release. Bring both thighs to your chest. Go ahead and wrap your arms around. Maybe take a few movements from side to side. Your next inhalation, go ahead and grab the outside of both feet. We're going to take happy baby here. So take a few movements, maybe from side to side, pressing down towards the ground. Focusing on your breath. On your next inhalation, maybe you stay here, maybe you try and extend. Again, making sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, maybe bring it back to center. Go ahead, maybe wrap your arms around, take some movements from side to side. On your next inhalation, straighten both legs on top of you. We're going to take some eagle leg side twist. So go ahead and eagle first, that right leg over the left one. You're going to taking your right arm, place the palm, maybe you want to cactus the arm or place the palm facing down towards the side. We're going to take a side twist towards the right, but your legs are going to fall down. On your next inhalation, we're going to go ahead and stack your right leg on top of the left one. We're going to take some eagle leg side twist. So try and eagle out your legs. Take a big inhalation, bringing your right hand, palm facing down towards the side, and slowly letting your legs fall down towards the left. Feeling a side stretch here, trying to keep both shoulder blades on the mat, looking up and over that right shoulder, making sure you're breathing. On your next inhalation, slowly come back to center, straighten both legs up on top of you, and on your next inhale, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So stack both legs up, try and eagle out your legs. Go ahead and maybe have your hands straight out. I'm going to eagle it out with this one because I don't have enough space. So take a big inhale, letting your legs fall towards the side. Trying to keep both shoulder blades on the mat here. Making sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, bring it back to center. Bring both thighs together. Exhale, slowly release. Straighten your legs out in front of you. When you're here, let your arms rest by your side. We're going to finish this practice by taking a few breaths in Savasana. Really hope that you enjoyed this Yoga for Cramps class and that you feel a little bit better, more relaxed, and that you have a wonderful day.